I've traveled more than 19 states, spoken to 2000 plus sellers of different size and different types. People are not doing data entry. Primarily the mithai shops and smaller sellers, they are more comfortable with the voice notes on WhatsApp rather than typing message and sending it.
500 plus dialogue. So how did you achieve that?
The same vegetables are having a different name as soon as we travel a little bit. Kaddu can be pumpkin, it can be hash gourd, it can be also the bottle gourd. It took us approximately 15 months to get accuracies from somewhere in 40% to the 90%.
You have secured angel funding as well.
We have not reached out to early stage VCs initially because we believe product has to be reached certain level before you can reach the VCs.
Today I brought founder of Sarvam AI,
Gen AI brand, Sarvam.
So guys, I hope recently everybody has heard about Sarvam AI.
कि यहाँ पे इंडिया में खुद का AI आ गया जिसका नाम है सर्वम.
What's Indian mindsets about AI that you would like to break?
People generally believe that AI can solve everything. If you intelligently use it, it will solve most of your problems. Something very repetitive and something which you're doing once in our life. AI is more like another tool, like a computer or calculator, but you need to apply your own mind. What I was able to do it with 5 people now. My 5 people can do 25 people work.
From the streets to building powerful tech ecosystems, Sarvam AI's team's vision simple yet revolutionary. Type nahi, sirf bolo aur system samjh jaye. A voice-first AI built for real Bharat. And somewhere between Jaipur ki warmth और Bengaluru की innovation, Bhawna Sharma met this vision during powerful representation like the AI Impact Summit, where voices of creators and coders aligned. And today we are welcoming our prestigious guest, the co-founder of Sarvam AI, Harish Chandra, who is going to tell the unheard story behind the curtain scenes of Sarvam AI building and the struggles they faced along the journey. Founder of Sarvam AI and how he turned his street vendor journey to this inspiring achievement right now. Let's deeply dive into it and how they are taking over the voice ERP marketplace and making it possible for the digital ecosystems and vendors out there. Let's ask him about his journey and let's decode how did he do it. So welcome here, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
Had a humble journey.
Okay.
And fortunately got a good education and a lot of support from friends, family in initial days to get into the engineering college like IIT.
Yeah.
And
it's such a privilege.
It was. It was just a God's grace. And after that, working in the various companies, becoming a CTO of companies like IndiaAI.com and then Hindustan Times Group.
Amazing.
It was an amazing journey. But in the back of mind, getting back to the roots was always something which I wanted to do. So I attempted few of the things as a pilot projects, which I did it during those stints, though it was not related to the micro businesses, but similar segment of people.
Okay.
And after Hindustan Times, I made a conscious decision that now I want to take a break and focus my energy on building something for the smaller sellers. So we build a accounting system for a smaller sellers, and we given to 100 plus sellers across Lucknow and Kanpur belt, primarily the mithai shops and smaller sellers. And this was in 15 languages. It used to read the SMS.
Right.
And so what we learned from that was that people are not doing data entry. And they are more comfortable with the voice notes on WhatsApp rather than typing message and sending it.
Exactly.
And the voice technology was very, very early stage. So that's the point of time we given a pause and we said maybe we should approach this problem when the voice tech can be enabled. And then I traveled more than 19 states, spoken to 2,000 plus sellers of different size and different types, and did a lot of road journey. And I used to stay in one city, interact with that seller, and then again next city. And that point in time, I realized that voice is required. And when AI has taken over, and it was possible and it was visible in 2016, 17, 18, when we started using the early version of voice, and we realized that it is possible. And that's the reason in 2021, December, post-COVID, we realized that a lot of people are open about this and devices are there. Connectivity is also improved. So we thought this is the right time to restart this.
Great. So 500 plus dialects. So how did you achieve that precision, and how did you manage to train your model and data over that, and how did you handle those queries on one platform? So what was the technology behind it, and how did you manage to make that team?
Okay, so basically what nuances we learned when I interacted with more than 2,000 sellers, the same vegetables are having a different name as soon as we travel a little bit.
Right.
For example, kaddu can be pumpkin, it can be hash gourd, it can be also the bottle gourd.
Right.
Now within very small distance of northern India. So when I traveled further, I realized that people do have a dialects. The same language, they speak slightly differently. So the technology building was a challenge, and that's the reason first we created a generative AI, and which was generating this 500 dialects.
Okay.
And after that, so this was more of a synthetic data, and we got a lot of data from ISC Bangalore and Google's labs, where they have a lot of data, and we use those data. The second thing what we learned is that background noise and accuracies are very low because of the voice files are very big to process it. So we did a voice compression, noise reduction, and voice enhancement on the device. And then we are sending that to our AI model. Now, AI models also not working on the one layer, there are multi-layers are there. So if you need to support 2 languages, it will be used by the generic model, but generic model realizes that in Delhi, people speak Hindi and Punjabi and English. So there is a model which can understand 3 of these languages, and the smaller SLM is there, which is much lightweighted and gives you better accuracy. And then after that, we are applying NLP and ML models, which is a post-processing we're doing, to again increase our accuracies. So there is a lot of processing happening, but this has to be done in few fractions of the second.
Okay.
So through that, we created very optimized library, and it took us approximately 15 months to build from alpha to the beta of our voice technology to get accuracies from somewhere in 40% to the 90%.
Great. So how does it help diversified SMEs? And which was the first industry which adopted Sarvam AI and was the quickest to adopt? Was it food, fashion, or retails?
So we were focusing primarily on the daily needs. So in daily needs, you have cooked and uncooked food. So we started this initially all over India. And what we realized that there was an equal distribution between the cooked and uncooked food, more or less. And then when we went to a particular zip code, like Electronic City, where you have a lot of migrants who are staying in PGs.
Right.
So in one initial stage, we saw more than 40% were the restaurants or smaller restaurants or bakeries or your sweet shops were there. And for the uncooked food, then we saw adoption happening. And fashion is a more complex thing to solve, and that's we realized very early in our journey. So we have deferred the fashion and focused on the services, like you are looking for ironing of clothes or ladies tailor who can do the alteration or some beauty services or plumber, electrician. So we added initially the uncooked food, then started with the cooked food because that was a more need on the particular area. And then we came to the services. And fashion is something which we have not focused and we are not planning to do, at least because that's what the more complex to solve, and because varieties are too much.
Right.
Tomato is a tomato. It's a more or less standard product. But a top can have more than 1 million variants and then making
So
trends.
right now, AI is also facing many backlashes, and this industry was also badmouthed with terms like data breach and security breaches. And Grok has also faced recently many data breach consequences. So, how does Sarvam AI make sure that no data gets compromised when user uses, and how do you prevent data leaks?
So it's a typical journey for a startup because you have a limited resources and you need to move fast. So you do security as and when you need it. And that's the industry which is growing very fast. It becomes more challenging for any company to do that. And it is a typical thing. If I have a 10 rupee item, I will not put it in the Godrej locker. But if I have a 1 lakh rupees ring, then I'll do it. So same way, I believe that security in any industry is also very similar. And that's the reason the security has to be implemented as and when you're growing, because initially you have limited resources in time, but as you grow, you need to do that. So there should be a right balance needs to be kept between the growth and the security. And that's where we were very focused about. It took us more than 3 years to build what we built, but we were very frugal about it because of the limited resources. At the same time, we were very particular that our security has to be thought through at a certain level. Though we have not reached the level we want to reach it, but as we grow and we add more business to the things, then definitely we will be adding the security to it. So that's what my belief is. And any other controversies like AI taking away the things of people's job. Now, any automation will do that. Initially, there was a typewriter, and then when computer came, what will happen? Instead of typing everything, you just have to change the name of people and the new documents can be created. Otherwise, the legal system, you need to type everything and then do the things. But that all advancements adds to a new challenge. At the same time, it also, everyone needs to upskill it. So if all the typewriting people must start learning computer, because that helps them to earn better. And I think that's what we are going through right now, where a lot of automations is happening. But according to me, AI can solve the problem over 80-90% accuracies. Ultimately, a human would be required to add value. So this automation will help you. Like if I say something like stock tomato 20 rupees per kg. Now instead of 20, it may understand 30 rupees by mistake. So somebody needs to verify that. And as and when used more and more, it will be getting more personalized. And like any other technology, like when we used to make calls in 1998, it used to be difficult to get through a call also. But we don't think about getting call not connected today, because the technology has taken the data. It used to be so slow in 2008. Like we used to get 14 kbps in our phone on to get some data on our Blackberries. So now we don't talk about all that speed problems. But so that's where the same thing is there, that we need to learn this. At the same time, technology also will improve. And we need to have a right empathy. And that's the reason, instead of replacing people, it should enhance people's capability so you can do more and create a better solution for people.
So this leadership philosophy of yours, how did your childhood help to shape it? And what was the success inspiration behind that moved you to pursue Sarvam AI?
So as I started my humble life, so obviously the frugality comes inbuilt when you're doing this, because in the childhood also, I have done a video business and I didn't have any capital. So how to do this capital intensive work? So I did some jugaad to do that. And similar thing, we did it here. Building a model will not cost you huge amount of CPU, GPUs and other things. But then we set first principle, can we do it frugally? And when you start thinking frugally, then you will automatically can think of a solutions around that. So that's one leadership style which change. Second thing is I always believe in empowering people as early as possible in my most of our journey. So we have an average maximum experience in our technology team is around 2 years or
Wonderful.
so. And most of the interns have developed the technology, though my co-founder, he's a PhD in AI ML and his PhD was in finding which stage of a cancer it is from your picture of your skin, which he did this in 16, 17. So his knowledge already helped us a lot. But using the young talent to do it has saved a lot of money for us. And also we were able to do a better technology in maybe a little bit delays were there, but we were able to do a better job. And I think that's the second style where you always try to optimize and empower younger people to get their things done, train them, educate them. And the third philosophy, which I have it, is like, come what may, not to give up. Because that's what you learn when you worked in corporate and the companies where you've grown from software engineer to CTO, where the responsibilities are like that. So all that, but my entrepreneurial journey is something new for me because I'm learning a lot to work with people, and it's a different kind of responsibility you have it, and I feel this is the I call myself intern as far as founder is concerned because I have only 3 years experience of that.
Great. So, what are some Indian mindsets about technology and AI that you would like to break today?
So I think one of the things is people generally believe that AI can solve everything.
Right.
Though if you intelligently use it, it will solve most of your problem. For example, something very repetitive, which you're using it, ideally you should automate with the AI, and something which you're doing once in our life, that you should delay it because those data entry can be done by either someone who's more savvy or but the entire AI has to be phased out in such a way that it is solving what matter most, keeping the human empathy and human sensitivity, because what happens when you don't apply the social science around that, then it would become a mindless game. So for example, somebody says that Indira Gandhi iron lady, give me a picture. Then Indira Gandhi ironing a cloth is not the right picture.
Right,
There's not the right
That's not the
context.
literal context.
Yeah, that's not literal context. So that's the human intelligence which should come. And that's the reason I believe that AI is more like another tool, like a computer or programming or anything was there, or calculator or your olden days. But you need to apply your own mind. It just accelerates the things for you, but ultimately you need to use it. Even digital content creation or your document creations, all those becomes much easier today. And it just accelerates the work. What I was able to do it with 5 people, now I can do it. My 5 people can do 25 people work. And that's what
that's how it works.
Yeah.
So when you guys were working on your prototype, what was the most unexpected feedback that came to you first? And how did you manage to, have you ever thought of AI copying emotions so precisely like human being? Have you guys thought of that thing?
So basically, we are building a where there's no emotion part we need to tackle because you don't get emotional with your system. So for example, if you need to do a data entry in the system and say that do a cataloging, there's no emotion involved.
Right.
There is you may be emotional at that point of time when you're speaking, so that emotion has to be demystified and you have to take only the content part of it in this scenario because you are talking to a system. Do accounting, do billing, do cataloging, do inventory, do ordering. So all this would be a very transactional commerce thing. And in commerce, generally emotions are not there. But when you're doing a sales, the emotions are involved. Now, that's the reason there was no major emotion related problem we faced in our use case scenario, but when you're doing customer success or when you're doing, let's say, a creative creation, then the emotion comes very important.
Right.
Now, if somebody is talking very plain, it doesn't
Basic kind of
work
thing.
well. And if a customer care is talking more like a machine, it irritates the users. So I believe the emotion part was more adding. And then when you're adding a dialect, our emotion changes automatically. So for example, if you speak Marwadi and
Right.
I ask you something in Marwadi, the first thing comes is your smile changes.
Yeah.
Even unknown person talking to you,
Yeah.
it comes
will
because you feel
sound
connected.
familiar. Yeah.
You feel connected
Yeah.
somewhere within.
Right.
So the dialect have that value. Then if somebody can talk according to you, like for example, I have my English, which is more Indian thing. There are people who will talk English with more American accent because
Right.
they are working with American companies or they stayed in America, so they will have it. The people staying in London will have that. Now, as soon as you talk to someone and that guy is talking more like you, then you feel connected to that. So the emotion part is there when you're doing sales, when you're doing customer success, when you're doing the marketing. But in the transactional thing, it is not much worry because
we did.
you're doing a transactional statement, and whether you speak with anger or whether you speak with hurry or you speak with sadness,
Right.
ideally it should not be
Affecting
bothered
the
transaction because the
object, yeah.
transaction is transaction.
Okay. So, and what was the unexpected feedback that came in first?
So a lot of feedback. I think we are a outcome of more than 1,000 plus feedback. We got it over a period of time, and we have done a various iteration to do that. But one of the first thing is like, इसको यूज करने के लिए तो बहुत मेहनत लगेगा, तो ये कैसे करेंगे? That was the first statement
right.
somebody said to me, and I remember that I used Alexa first time in 2017, and I also started using iPhone dictation, and then I used to reply my messages, my email by dictation while doing a driving, and that's not a good thing to do, but I used to do that. And so I realized that there's a lot of fast speaking, fast output can be done when you're speaking it. And when I said, when Alexa can't do it for Amazon, why a small seller can't do it for himself? And because we already built the 15 languages, I said languages has to be there. And the idea of dialect came when I traveled across the India and then started studying the people behavior across India. So I think 16, 17, when I wrapped up my first version of Sarvam and started rethinking, that part of the idea came, the voice should be there, and I started studying. And when I saw some of the demos happening by Google, booking
Gemini.
Gemini, this was used to be Google Assistants.
Yeah,
which
assistant.
You can book appointment where assistant is booking entire appointment. I said, wow, then this is possible. Then commerce is also possible, and commerce is very repetitive. It should be definitely possible to do it more optimally than what AI is doing. And that time, if I would have thought of doing this, would have required at least 100 million or 10 million to build something like this. But today we were able to build this only for 50,000 USD. And I think the timing was the most important thing. A lot of people tried it earlier also, but they were not able to do it because the timing was not right.
Great. So 5,000 plus nano businesses in a single Bengaluru zip code and other states as well. So how did you pull off that move?
Yeah, so initially we did a lot of iterations of getting first 15 sellers I personally met and got it. After that, we had a lot of freelancers. We'd used that in 90 zip codes and we got some sellers from that experience. And it was more like a survey where we have found out where it will work, where it will not. So we tried tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities. And ultimately, when we launched in Bangalore's one zip code, we realized we need to hire some 6-7 people, sales team. We went on market, try to convince people without voice AI was not working very properly because we were using third-party voice AI. We were not building our own because we thought, let's use the third party. And third party was not giving the kind of results we were expecting. The cost was very high and the accuracies were very low. So that point of time, we just said, "Okay, can we do this more digitally?" And that's where we did a lot of referral schemes, and we got a very good response from the referral schemes. And when people started using it, the product itself started talking, because when I was using it, let's say as a small seller, and you're my neighbor seller, then you ask what I'm doing, and they say, okay, this talk to this guy, will come and teach you. So that's the way we have able to acquire this. And we also created an AI agent which can acquire the digital people. So someone who's more digital savvy, we were able to acquire them using digital. We create their digital stores, then we send them WhatsApp video as a small education, which is lesser than 30 seconds. Like, because people are used to of shorts,
Right.
and we educate the step-by-step process, and that's the way the entire chain was created. And we were able to acquire more than 90% people in last 3 months digitally. But earlier it used to be a lot of manual education, which was there, and this was the various learning we have it, where we have only one sales guy on the ground. But prior sales team, which was 6-7 people, they had done a lot of hard work from morning to night to convince and onboard this initial people.
So how does Sarvam AI differs itself from the competitors like 11 Labs and other kind of voice like Alexa, voice models like Alexa?
So most of the solutions are more of a horizontal solutions. They are making solution for more generic one. And we are more of a vertical solution for a commerce. So for example, I can tell you, they are training their model on, let's say, most of the dictionary words. Now, if I to give analogy, we are training on only those 5,000 words, which you talk with the system. So when you're doing a business, like you're doing billing, accounting, you will talk product or services. You will talk what to do, what not to do. So the part becomes very vertical in nature, and it is very coupled with our technology of entire ERP. So the automation which we are doing, we are not like competing with the 11 Labs. They have their solution which is suitable for horizontal use cases. Any company, we also use 11 Labs to do some of the smaller tasks. But we are using our own model for a specific use case which are more repetitive. So the business you talk, not more than 5,000 words. So those are the 5,000 we focus on. So which makes it smaller and optimal.
So any local or regional slangs are also included, like
So that's why the thing, we are supporting 500 dialects. In total world, there are 10,000 plus dialects are there, and we are planning to support more than 3,000 of them in next 3 to 5 years. We can add one dialect in just weeks time.
Did you receive any feedback like make it less robotic or less looking like a boat? Or sounding like a boat?
So it sounds more like a human at certain times, and it sounds like a robot. And initial version will be mostly like sounding like a robot, and then we have working still to improvise this. So if somebody is speaking something, let's say stock tomato 20 rupees per kg, instead of that, the person is saying stock 20 tomato kg. So now the system will not understand whether it is the right. Ideally, it should be able to understand. So then we educate the users and say, please speak like this. So when the system is saying, please speak like this, we use more and more humanistic generative, because this is a repetitive thing which users will be coming in. But something which needs to be done on the fly and say, this is the product. At that point of time, we try to reuse the files. So for example, there are 10 sellers are there, and they have spoken already aloo, or let's say pata gobi or banda gobi, bondo gobi or banda gobi. So we know that this people in this area speak banda gobi, in this area they speak bondo gobi, in same Calcutta. So what we do, we use these 3 different dialects, not dialects, I'll say pronunciation styles, styles, which is having a human touch because of your mother tongue, and that's the way we are able to generate it, and then that increase the more human touch to that. Otherwise, it was very flat earlier, and that's where the emotion comes also very important. So when you're talking back to them, you have to talk it with the more neutrality. But when it is consuming it, you don't need to worry about it. So we are doing most of the consumption. We are not doing most of the speaking. because system
Right.
will be speaking repetitive things. So
Right.
there you don't need to apply too much of AI.
Great. So, when you were enhancing your models or upgrading them, did you ever face a situation where the bug ruined the system and started acting?
So many times. That's a part of the life.
So, how did you manage
as
those?
a technology
Yeah.
company, the nuances are always.
So, how did you manage those times from your user side and for your development side? as well?
Initially, as we do, we have set the expectation that this is the system, we are trying it out. So we have early adopters of around 2000 plus sellers, which we
Right.
used it. So we set expectation for them. We didn't charge them anything. We gave them a complimentary things, which has helped us to set
Understand.
the expectation
Yeah,
correctly. And then they became our product masters. Initially, they were not using it. It was not working it out. So they have said, no, it is not working it out. And we also collect the data when it is working, when it is not working.
Yeah.
And then reach out to those sellers, and that data becomes our training data for future. If it is not working, which we manually go and understand it.
So, how do you ensure the accuracy of Sarvam AI when users speak the mixed kind of language?
So, as I just explained also earlier, that we apply a SLM, which is a
Okay.
smaller model, which is trained on multiple models.
Oh.
Let's say Hindi, Punjabi, and English, because in Delhi people speak that. And let's say in Karnataka, people will be talking English, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu. Let's say these are the 4 languages.
Yeah.
So people will be mostly using this 4 combination of these words only. So we create a smaller model which is trained on combination of these 4 languages.
All right.
And there's a context set to that. For example, if I say stock Bendigai, Padi rupees. Now Padi is in Telugu, Bendigai is in Kannada, and stock is English words. But because stock is so common English word,
Yeah.
there's no other equivalent which you want to use it in Kannada, so you will speak the similar word. So the model is trained on this. And then we also have a generic model which is trained on all the things. So if the smaller model is not able to process it, it will go to the larger model.
Okay.
And even if that is not possible, then we send it to the third-party models to train and enhance that for the future. So if it is not going, so then we will send to the other models which are like a Gemini or maybe for the OpenAI, where we will give the data to that and then try to get the response back. So that becomes our training data for future.
Okay.
And also we correct this person gives it. Those latencies will be added, but this reduces the latency in future, but this first time it may be there.
Thanks for explaining it so well. So, how, apart from domestic dialects, are you also expanding into the international markets? And I've also heard you have landed the MOUs of Indonesian markets as well. So, how are you pulling that off?
So we have got one lead from the internet that they are looking for a solution.
Okay.
So there's one of the fishery company in Indonesia wanted to do this as a POC, and they wanted to explore it out whether the technology can be used. So that's the point of time we got the first lead to do some other language, though we were focusing mostly on India.
Yeah.
But our vision was always global, because on day one we were thinking of if we can do 500 dialects, then we should do 3000 dialects, which is the most of the world is using it. So the time and was around 1 year back when we just started building our model and for early version. That point of our lead came, and then we realized, okay, let's do this. Similarly, 5 months back, a Thai company came and they also wanted to explore it out, and they wanted a support of Thai and Chinese. So we realized that people will require in other areas also. So can we train the model what nuances will be there and what complexity will be there? But because when we are covering India, which is so diversified, I think covering world becomes just extension, though there are certain nuances which are there because the similar products are not there or similar words are not there. So those things are something which is a lot of information is available on internet. So that becomes your training data. And then we were able to train a model, the Indonesian one maybe around a month's time, but in the Thai and Chinese were able to do it in a week's time.
So for extracting that data or using that data into your models, did take permissions from the government for using it for ethical purposes?
Yeah. So ISC
And
Bangalore
what's
is
the
having a
process?
database
Yeah.
which you can use it, and you need to any
Okay.
company which is want to participate in that. So it is a ISC Bangalore makes it. Similarly, Google Labs are also having a data which is consumed and you can use it for training your data. But most of the time we use our users'
Right,
data also,
right.
which is helped us to get the real time. So first we have taken the lab data, which we created 500 dialects using one sentence. If I say one sentence, that should be generated in 500 dialects. Then we use that to train it. Then we also use public data to train it and improvise the accuracy. And then we use our users' data also. So this three combinations helps, and definitely consent has to be taken before using anyone's data. And generally we're using a public data, which is generally available in a public now space. Or if somebody is providing that as a service, like Google, they wants to provide that because they wanted to support 72 plus languages. So they have a collection of 72 languages,
Yeah.
which are not scripted, but there are the languages,
Right,
dialects are there.
right.
Similarly, ISC Bangalore is having this approximately more than 500 dialects data, and which they collected from the government agencies, and after consent they have it, and they have also demystified this privacy part of that, so we can use that data.
Okay, great. So, so as an AI visionary, you have secured angel funding as well. So, what advice you would like to give beginner entrepreneurs who are looking to going for investments, or what are the challenges, or what are the things or do's and don'ts they should keep in their minds?
Oh, so I would say that I still learning this funding thing because we have done only angel round of funding.
Okay.
But one simple thing is that when you're going for angel round, the angels are more interested in you and what vision you have it. They are betting on you and your vision
Okay.
or your idea. So if idea coherent with them and they connect with that, then they would be interested to participate in supporting you. And we were very fortunate that we have around 14, 15 angel investors who has supported us in last 3.5 years. And that has also, in Startup India, has also given us the seed funding, which is to build the product. This is called POC funding. And that has also helped us. So I believe that using government agency funds would help you initial days because those are there in place nowadays. And there are a lot of schemes are there. So please take advantage of that. Talk to your friends and family. They are the first one to give it you support. And we got a very good support from friends and family. And then we also got it to extended alumni network from the colleges and also where I've worked in past. And those connect has helped us to get this. And not only that, but also some of the unknown people have reached out to us, like some of the people who just saw what we are doing on the one of the event where we went to present this, and we got the award there. So the person walked up to us and then, I'm interested to see what you're doing. But yeah, it is a lot of effort, and I always suggest that you use some experts or expert platforms to do that, and that would accelerate your the entire funding journey in initial days. And now we are raising a larger round of 2 mil and or 500,000. Before that, we're doing a step up round before we do a 2 million seed round. So we're doing a pre-seed of 500,000. So it's an amazing journey again for me, talking to unknown people and trying to convince them, because up till now you were getting a referral or someone who is reaching out to you, but now you're reaching out to the people and convincing them. So it's amazing journey, but at the same time there are a lot of VCs or early stage VCs are there. We have not reached out to early stage VCs initially because we believe that the product has to be reached certain level before you can reach the VCs. At the very idea stage, the VC's investment is may not be possible for us with the space we were in, because nobody is able to make a big way in this space. And when you speak to someone about that Indian dialect and supporting them, it sounds like a good theoretically, but practically, a lot of nuances are there. And we learned that in last 2.5 years that what complexities are there. And that's the reason it's a longer journey for us. But for our young people now, I don't think so. That's the kind of thing. You should use the government scheme. A lot of government schemes are launched. A lot of grants are there. A lot of incubations are there.
Yeah.
Use them first and build your product, and then you can go to the VCs and angels. And you always use friends, family, and alumni or your
Other funds.
and other founders
Right.
who have already done the journey.
So, what's your next move as a Sarvam AI founder? What's the next vision of the company? And are you seeing yourself as the next biggest unicorn of AI?
Yeah, every founder want to become a unicorn, but I think we need to go step by step. Unicorn is a good thing. So we are more passionate to solve this problem as a founder because I come from a humble background. My co-founder was wholesale sellers who are selling to the same smaller nano businesses. My other co-founder and advisor, his family was also having a small business. So we have a lot of empathy and a lot of understanding of the market. But at the same time, we also want to go step by step. And initially, I thought that maybe in 3 years' time, we will be having millions of the sellers on the platform. But what we learned that it would be possible at the right time. And today, 3 years back, most sellers were not using any Instagram or Shorts or your Moj or any of those digital platforms.
Yeah.
But all of them are using today. So today, I'm able to reach out to them digitally, which I was not able to do 3 years back.
So, can creators and artists also use your Sarvam AI to monetize their art? Is it like that?
We are planning to build something where hyper local influencers can create a content for someone and then monetize it. That will be the part of the promo module. So where, let's say I am a small mithai shop and I want to promote my content, then I can use a local influencer to do that. And whatever charges are there, that will be there because this influencer will be giving promo as a service on the platform. So if he or she charges, let's say, 1,000 rupees to create a content and get some business for that guy, and then that's the kind of platform we want to build it in next 2 years or so. And the milestone we want to achieve first, we want to have a 10,000 paid sellers to us. And next 3 to 6 months post, we raise this 500,000 funding. And if we raise 2 million funding, then we want to have at least 50,000 paid sellers and 1 million buyers on the platform who can connect to each other digitally in at least 10 to 20 or 30 areas across India, and also a couple of areas in abroad where we want to do smaller POC. And now we're building this technology that if somebody in Indonesia wants to use this, he doesn't need anyone to educate him. Our AI will help him to create catalog. AI will help him to do all steps of the task. So he just needs to speak small inputs and the system will do everything. And that's the maturity we want to reach once we achieve this 2 million funding. And during this period, we want to focus more on security and the privacy, because right now we have a very minimal data and our zip code. So as we go in different countries, then what nuances are there? We want to learn that so that it becomes more easier to reach out from that 50,000 to a 500,000 mark, which we ultimately want to do it in next 5 years.
Great. So, lastly, if I'm using Sarvam AI myself as a vegetable seller, what are the possibility of areas where I can use it, and what are the limitations for me?
Currently, you can use it anywhere in India.
Okay.
And
would you like to show us a demo right now?
Yeah, so I can just show you. It's very simple thing. Like I am a very small seller, and let's say, and I need to do a cataloging of some item. Let's say I am. 1 minute, I'll just show you this.
Sure.
Product. I can just speak with the system and say, stock avocado, 20 rupiah per packet. Now system will add avocado, and the avocado is added and a picture comes.
Okay.
And it's there, and then it will be basically done. Now, if I have to change the price or I need to do, then I can just speak with the system. Stock टमाटर का नया दाम 20 रुपया per kg. So the tomato picture came and it is telling that it is updated. Now, if I speak something gibberish and the system is not able to understand, ABC, ABC.
माफ कीजिए, मैं समझ नहीं पाया। कृपया ऐसे कहें, स्टॉक सेब की नई कीमत 11 रुपए प्रति किलोग्राम है।
So this way it educates you what to do if you are not able to understand things correctly.
Right.
So this is,
कीजिए, मैं समझ नहीं पाया।
I'll just close this.
Sure.
So anything, if I have to do billing, just I can speak with the system, say bill टमाटर 350 ग्राम and it will add 350 या bill टमाटर 20 रुपए का, it will add 20 रुपए worth. If the tomato is for let's say 15 रुपए बोलेंगे तो 750 ग्राम ऐड कर देगा.
Okay.
Like that.
So the final question is, how are you balancing your between tech and marketing and scaling your business and awareness of your product and the future upgrades and your personal life? What's the secret sauce?
There is no secret sauce. We did a lot of mistakes. Rather, we invested most of our energies on technology because that's where my forte is.
Okay.
And we spent less than 5% on the technology initial days. So on marketing and other thing. But recently, last 2-3 months, we have invested around 15 to 16% on the marketing, and that has started showing the results. So once we are raising this $500,000, more than 50% will be going in the sales and marketing only. And when we raise a 2 million large around, more than 70% will be going in sales and marketing because the product would constantly improve and that would require a lot of energy. But the entire product improvement towards will be where how the sales and technology can be done. So the balancing act, I'm still learning. As I said, I'm still an intern as a thing. But we have a great mentors we have not spent a lot of money on the marketing and wasted that because that's what typically a lot of companies in past has done it. And they invested a lot of money on the acquisition of sellers. Each seller acquisition is costing them as high as 2,000, 1,000 rupees, and each buyer acquisition is costing them around 1,000 rupees. Now, if you have to in one area acquire 500 sellers and approximately 20,000 buyers, at those kind of acquisition costs, you're not able to do it. So we didn't do that by design, but by virtue of God's grace and mentoring, we spent very little on the marketing to understand what works, what doesn't work. And then we replicated at the right when we were getting that optimal pricing. So we were able to acquire a seller for as low as 100 rupees or a buyer for around 5 to 10 rupees.
Great. So that was very insightful. So I would brief you about the product we are also developing. So we are developing Podcast AI, where we are making ecosystem for influencers, creators, and brands. So there we are integrating amazing AI tools for them to create content and managing their brand campaigns and helping them with the daily content operations. So maybe in future
So are you thinking of doing this also for the micro influencers?
Yeah, micro influencers.
So then we would love to
we will
explore it out. We are launching on Jaipur as one of the location.
Great.
As a next month or so once we close this round of funding.
Yeah.
So there maybe we can do a small pilot.
Yeah, partnership or
because in the promo mode, let's say you have, I don't know Jaipur very well, but let's say in Jaipur you have some mithai shop or some namkeen shop, and they want to promote.
We have already onboarded 1,000+ creators.
Oh, you have 1,000+ creators in Jaipur. Oh wow, that's good then. You should definitely explore it out.
Yeah, and pan-India level and Dubai as well.
So right now we want to focus more in India for this pilot. And the press, why we are saying Jaipur, because one of our co-founders and advisor is in Jaipur right now.
Right.
His advisor is staying there. So he can physically go and see that.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and we have done the southern India. We want to cover the northern India. And Jaipur being a tier 2 city, it makes sense that we do that.
That would be amazing for partnership. So please share your feedback about this podcast, and how was your experience? And
For me, this is, I think, a second podcast, so I will not have much to say, compare, or give any feedback. But yeah,
okay,
I think I was equally nervous as I was in my last podcast. But I think the way you are driving this and
yeah.
just a simple thing you're asking, I think it's makes it very easy for me to Thank
Convey
you.
your thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay. And please tell our audience to like, share, and subscribe the content.
Please like, share, and subscribe to Sarvam and also to their podcast.
Podcast AI.